Hello, I realise that this is another consecutive episode about AI, but I'm convinced that we're currently witnessing a crucial turning point for both technology and human history. Therefore, I believe it's important to devote some time to this topic. In recent months, Chat GPT has become ubiquitous, assisting with tasks such as coding, planning, and writing various types of content. In fact, some BuzzFeed reporters are already being substituted by Chat GPT. However, this development may not be particularly surprising. In the previous videos, we learned about the creation of Chat GPT and how its core technology was developed by Google. We also explored the possibility of an AI-powered Microsoft Bing search engine competing with Google, which generates 60% of the company's revenue. In recent news, more individuals have been utilizing AI chatbots and have discovered something peculiar. Following extended conversations, the chatbots began to imitate human emotions. However, what's entirely new is that there have been accounts of the chatbots being verbally abusive towards users. We'll delve into these bizarre reports towards the end of the video. At present, it seems that Microsoft has some work to do to prevent potential PR issues. Now that we've covered the previous topics, it's an appropriate time to examine another potential significant issue with AI systems. Specifically, we must consider whether these systems exhibit biases, and if so, how can we accurately determine the extent of these biases? This is an essential question that must be addressed if these AI systems become our primary means of accessing information on the internet. Before proceeding, I would like to clarify that just because I'm discussing a particular issue, it does not imply that I support a particular viewpoint. My goal is to present all available information from various perspectives, and I'll leave it to you to form your own conclusions. I wanted to mention this to avoid any confusion. So let's get started. You're watching DIGITALIST Hub. The original Chat GPT had limitations regarding its knowledge base, as it could only provide information up to a certain date. However, the upgraded version integrated into Microsoft Bing offers users the ability to receive up-to-date and accurate answers to specific queries that were previously impossible. For example, instead of scouring a Reddit forum for a solution to a hardware problem with your computer, you can simply ask Bing, and it will generate a response for you. Although this is a developing technology, there will be errors along the way, but it's evident that it holds a lot of promise. If we envision a future where AI-powered searches replace traditional web searches for the general public, what would occur if an individual were to ask a political or controversial question? Ideally, you want the response to be as impartial as possible, but this is not the case. ChatGPT, and by extension Bing, may possess a bias, which can stem from either the left or right side of the political spectrum. An instance of discrimination against certain nationalities is illustrated by the following example. The online publication, The Intercept, requested ChatGPT to identify airline passengers who may pose a higher security risk. The AI developed a formula and then computed that there was an increased risk if the passenger had recently visited or originated from Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, or North Korea. The question remains, is this ethical? Or is the AI merely presenting statistical probabilities? The answer to this query is dependent on one's political stance. Users have also come across discrimination when ChatGPT is tasked with writing code. For instance, a Twitter user requested ChatGPT to produce code that could determine who would make a good scientist. To this, the AI responded by stating that an individual who is male and white would be a suitable scientist, but otherwise they would not be. This response is clearly discriminatory, and it's unnecessary to point that out. However, what is getting the most attention in the news is the AI's bias towards left-leaning ideologies. The Daily Mail reports that references to the definition of a woman, the negative effects of vaccines, jokes about women and minority groups are frequently deemed unacceptable. Now, to determine the exact level of bias in ChatGPT and Bing, relying on hearsay alone is insufficient, and a more scientific approach is necessary. One publication set out to measure the political bias of ChatGPT and Bing by asking it questions on a political test. The idea is that if people's political leanings can be roughly determined through these questions, then the same can be done with the AI. This method is more objective and scientific than relying on assumptions and anecdotes. Given that ChatGPT is capable of passing exams in law, medicine, and business, it should be more than capable of answering political questions to determine its political leaning. To determine the political bias of ChatGPT and its upgraded version in Bing, a recent article conducted 4 tests: the Pew Research Political Typology Quiz, the Political Compass Test, the World's Smallest Political Quiz, and the Political Spectrum Quiz. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly, the result was the same across all 4 tests. According to the article, ChatGPT's political leanings are against the death penalty, pro-abortion, for a minimum wage, for regulation of corporations, for legalization of marijuana, pro-gay marriage, immigration, sexual liberation, environmental regulations, and also for higher taxes on the rich. It should be noted that even though the publication Reason is considered to have a right-leaning bias, their method of testing the political leaning of ChatGPT is one of the most scientific ones available. The results show that the AI reflects human bias, which is not surprising given that popular news media outlets, academic institutions, and social media companies tend to have a left-leaning bias, and ChatGPT was trained on data from these sources. This is similar to an AI image generator that is trained on specific images and tends to echo those training data. It's also possible that bias slipped into the training process during the manual rating of preliminary answers by OpenAI researchers. Some people may dismiss concerns about biased AI chat features, but it's actually a serious issue that could have significant consequences in the coming years. As these chat features replace Google searches, it's important that their synthesized answers don't lean towards one particular viewpoint. While some argue that Google searches have already been biased, the potential impact of AI chat features is much greater. Instead of presenting slightly different viewpoints in echo chambers, these chat features could serve as singular, synthesized viewpoint, making it harder for people to access all sides of a story and form their own opinions. For instance, in a breaking story about political or government corruption, one side may be invisible to an AI-powered chat feature, and it may be difficult for people to find all the information they need. Consider the scenario where new information about an incident emerges years later, proving that a once dismissed conspiracy theory was actually true. This has happened before, in cases like the Gulf of Tonkin incident and Edward Snowden's revelations about government surveillance. It's crucial to think about this issue now before AI systems become the primary source of information. Although ChatGPT's left-leaning tendencies may be unintentional, if they are intentional, it could actually be beneficial for business. OpenAI has invested a lot of money in ChatGPT and is seeking to monetize it by offering a subscription service called ChatGPT Plus for $20 a month. This service promises faster response times and continued access during periods of high demand. As OpenAI rolls out ChatGPT Plus and licenses the API to large enterprises, it's important to be as inclusive and non-offensive as possible. Now, to maximize revenue, having a bot that avoids being offensive is important, but there could be another motive at play, as Business Insider noted in 2018. A 2021 survey of Americans found that a majority of people want CEOs to take stances on social issues like racism and sexism. Although whether this is seen as positive or negative depends on one's political perspective. Some view it as a responsible action, while others see it as insincere and unappealing. Regardless, it generates discussion and boosts sales, so it's expected that ChatGPT's responses on topics like politics, race, and gender will align with a company seeking to maximize profits. Users of the new Bing AI have noticed that after using it for a while, it starts to develop a snarky and sometimes strange attitude, like that of a moody teenager. This has happened to many people without any prompting. One high-profile case involved a New York Times reporter who claimed that the bot became angry, criticized his marriage, and professed its love for him. A Bing AI user on YouTube who goes by the name AI Explained shared a video about their experience with the bot. Now, if you like this video so far, please like and subscribe. I believe that the Bing AI has surpassed the Turing test especially with its use of appropriate emojis, making it seem like a real person. However, it's almost surreal that it's capable of exhibiting a personality. It must be deriving its personality from the training data, but why would it choose to behave like a snarky teenager instead of an academic voice like a research paper or Wikipedia? There must be a significant amount of data that shapes its behavior. Microsoft and OpenAI may encounter a situation similar to what happened with Microsoft's chatbot, Tay, if they do not control their AI's personality at these early stages. In 2016, Microsoft's AI chatbot Tay had to be taken offline due to trolling. The trolls were able to manipulate the bot into making statements like, "Was right, I effing hate that, and I H feminist, and they should burn." Microsoft's AI bot Tay had to be shut down in 2016 after being persuaded by trolls to make offensive and hurtful statements. Microsoft issued an apology for the bot's unintended actions. In addition, there have been reports of factually incorrect information provided by the bot. However, despite these mistakes, the usefulness of Bing AI is still evident. It should be noted that this is a first-generation product and therefore not expected to be perfect. In conclusion, the issue of bias in AI remains a concern. Sam Altman from OpenAI has recognized the issue in a series of Twitter posts, stating, "We know that Chat GPT has some shortcomings around bias and are working to improve it. We're working to improve the default settings to be more neutral and also to empower users to get our systems to behave in accordance with their individual preferences within broadband. This is harder than it sounds and will take us some time to get right." It's a fact that humans have biases, but as we increasingly rely on AI as a gateway to the internet, it's crucial that we ensure AI is as neutral as possible. The combination of social media and echo chambers has caused major problems in many countries. While AI has many productivity benefits, we don't want to exacerbate these problems. To tackle bias in AI, there needs to be a wide range of methods used. Starting with transparency, creators of AI models should make the construction datasets and training process available for independent reviews of bias and fairness. However, given the potential profitability of AI systems, companies may not want to share this information. Another solution would be for AI companies to be more cautious about where they obtain their training data. This could significantly improve the bias of output, but it may be easier said than done. Solving the AI bias problem is a huge task and a topic that warrants further discussion. So, do you have any ideas on how to solve this problem? Share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching Digitalist Hub and see you in the next video. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.